Man City down in third. They're in the Europa League as well now. I mean, was it 1 year too many for Marcelo? Should you have retired last year? Who knows? Hello everyone and welcome back to more careering onwards on Football Manager 20. It's Liverpool, and is the wait finally going to be over? Not today, it won't be today, it can't be today, but it may well be soon. There's the Premier League. We were supposed to challenge for the Premier League, having failed to win when we were supposed to under the board's eyes last season, but we are looking good at the moment. There's 9 games to go and all things can change over the course of those 9 games, but at the moment, fingers crossed, touching wood or whatever you want to do, we are 6 points clear at the top. 6 points clear of Spurs, 8 points clear of Manchester City, the 7 times reigning champions. It's going quite well, but it's not done yet. We'll take a big step towards it today, though, if we can get another win on the board. But let's have a look and see what has happened since last time, that crucial win against Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, we did, well, we had to go to a replay in the 4th round of the FA Cup. We'll do that first. We, of course, had to go to a replay in the 4th round of the FA Cup, which was disappointing. We won that. I played a fully rotated team because I would rather not have anyone get injured, as happened in the first match. And it was a 2-1 win after extra time. Marin Pograncic, who scored both of Arsenal's goals in the first game, scored an own goal for us and then their equaliser as well, which was ridiculous. But Marko Vujovic won it in the end, and we ended up then getting knocked out in the next round, the 5th round, by Wolves, forever an enemy of us in the series. It was a very exciting game. It was a 3-2 win for Wolves, and disappointing because we won the FA Cup 2 years in a row, but also for the fixture list and sort of scheduling, congestion, all that sort of stuff, I'm not too bothered. I think that being out of both domestic cups is probably going to help us. It definitely hindered us last season, and if there is one cup I want to win, it's the Champions League. So yeah, not the end of the world really. In the Premier League then, we did beat Barnsley 2-0. It was a little bit nervy, didn't score until the hour mark when Marko Vujovic finally got one, but then we did have a penalty late on just to add some extra sort of gloss onto it. But then we did lose our next Premier League game 2-0 to Leeds. Just really, it was a weird one. They had Gavin Ferris sent off in the 20th minute. We did not capitalise at all, even though we dominated. We hit the woodwork, no clear-cut chances though, but we dominated in terms of shots on target. They must have been from distance, because 2 goals from Phil Sherlock got the job done for them. He's moved to Leeds and not done massively well, but he scored 2 against us. The first leg against Real Madrid was a 0-0 snooze fest. The only highlight was Mohamed Salah missing a penalty, which he's done a little bit recently. He's missed a couple. A 3-0 win against Blackburn Rovers then followed. He did score in that one. Very comfortable, very routine. And then a 1-0 win against Southampton. Miguel Salvador saving us late on. In a similar situation against Reading, we scored a little bit earlier, but Colin Nicholson, the only goal scorer in that one. So today then, we are playing Real Madrid, the second leg against them in the first Champions League knockout round. We are, of course, the holders. We want to try and go through if we can. It's not the end of the world if we don't, though. And then Manchester United, who are pretty much they're the only traditional top 6 side who we still have to play in the league. Our run-in is relatively, as we said last time, relatively kind. We still have to play Everton. We've still got to play Fulham, who have caused a lot of people issues. Wolves, obviously, a team we constantly lose to in the save as well. So it's not anywhere close to being straightforward. But at least we're not playing City. At least we're not playing Spurs anymore. But first of all, we are going to be playing Real Madrid. Quite a few teams have already exited this. Man United are out, for example, and as I said, Man City didn't even make it to the knockout round. They're in the Europa League now, playing Wolves, coincidentally. But we're going to go full strength for this one. We want to go through as far as we can in the Champions League. That would be another good thing to win again. The more Champions Leagues we get, the more points of the Hall of Fame, that kind of stuff. They're definitely worth more than the domestic cups. So this is the team. We are back to full strength. Alisson in goal. Rafinha is back and fit and raring to go. We definitely miss him when he's not here. Voucher, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, the rest of the defence. De Jong, Salvador, Paqueta, Salah, Vujovic and Nicholson complete the team. Let's hope that Rafinha just doesn't get injured. That would be nice. Jamal Lewis on the bench in case, well, we're definitely going to take him off. He's not playing the full 90 minutes. That would be foolish. So then, Real Madrid, William Saliba's still there. Of course, we beat them in the Champions League final last year, didn't we? It's a repeat of that one, a 4-0 win. They have the wonderful Antonio Vasquez, of course, up front, who came through the youth academy at York City and is an England international with 20 goals in 40 caps, which is absolutely sensational. I would, after the Euros, if Graham Potter is dismissed, I would love to manage England. That would be fantastic. Could have gone there before, chose not to. Kind of regret it, but they've got Barentina, who scored against us, I think, he scored against us for Benfica a couple of years ago. And then they got Phil Foden, Danny Olmo. It's an excellent team. It's an excellent team. How they finished second in their group, I don't know. Anyway, I expect to win tonight. You beat them 4-0 last year. You can do that again, I think. This would start things off very nicely. Mohamed Salah in, Colin Nicholson in, 1-0, 1-0. Now, yeah, Madrid, we mentioned it last time, Madrid have been tapping up Marko Vujovic. Barcelona also joining into that one. And Colin Nicholson is attracting the attention of the money merchants PSG. I persuaded Vujovic to stay. The other ones, Nicholson's not asked me to leave. The thing is, it's going to depend on what happens with us, really. Obviously, we signed a new contract, but if there's a big job available, then I'm definitely going to be interested if we win the Premier League, which is a big if at the moment. And if we go somewhere else because we've won the Premier League, then we'll probably want to take some of these boys with us if we end up somewhere like Madrid or like PSG, because they're the only teams that can really realistically afford it. Madrid coming forwards here, and Vasquez has equalised and got an away goal. So I've just been prattling on about all sorts of nonsense, and Madrid, they've just been remembered they need to score a goal. It was looking good. Vasquez steals in, and it's 26th goal of the season. Nicholson's had a good season, but Vasquez even better. Well, it just came up to say Rafinha's been error prone, and now he won't be making any more errors because he's injured again. I mean, I don't think I'm rushing him back too quickly. Now it's a different injury every time. He's just become suddenly really injury prone, which is really annoying. Jamal Lewis on. It's not ideal, really. Show me something else in the second half, please. So since before Christmas, we did his ankle ligaments, and then he was out for 3 weeks. Then he did his knee ligaments. He was out for 6 weeks, and now he's done his thigh. I mean, he wasn't injury prone, but now he seems to be becoming quite injury prone, which is a little bit frustrating. Maybe we shouldn't have started him today. Maybe we should have just eased him in, but I don't know. Free kick from Salah in, it's bounced away. Marko Vujovic is on a 6.4, clearly trying to impress the team that want to sign him, or maybe just sort of not put them off him. I don't know what's happened there. Alisson makes the save. Shocking from, it was either De Jong or Foucher. I didn't really notice, but what I did notice was the terrible defending. We're still in this, but as things stand, Madrid going through, we need a goal. Let's just go attacking. We've not really done much today. I think our goal was a fluke, because we didn't apparently have a shot on target after we scored that goal. Vujovic having a shocker. Hopefully this puts Madrid off trying to buy him. Vignato coming on in his stead. I mean, we're not doing anything. Nothing is happening. As things stand, in contrast to what normally happens, we are going out. It's very simple. We are heading out on away goals. Normally, we end up going through on away goals, but not today unless things change. Salvador pressing forwards, trying to take the game by the scruff of its neck. Salah looking for his experience, lays it off to Jamal Lewis, who goes for the shot, which was the worst possible option. And there's 10 minutes left here. They're bringing on Moise Keane. That's what's happening. Bentancur on for Paqueta, I guess, who's had a pretty poor game. I'm going to move Salvador into the more attacking role because he does like to get forward quite a lot from the central position. It's nothing's going to happen, is it? No more highlights for the rest of the game, and we're going to go out on away goals, which is really irritating. Here's a highlight. Unfortunately, it's Madrid. Are they going to make sure it's not on away goals? We're pressing them. We've got 2.5 minutes. We need to score, and obviously we're going to be very, very vulnerable on the counter because we're desperately going for it. Hakimi puts it across all the way to Teo Hernandez. Still got it. Still working. Vasquez hits the post, and that will probably be the end of the time. And well, that didn't quite go how I was expecting or wishing. Real Madrid won, Liverpool won, and we are out of the Champions League on away goals. Oh, Spurs are out as well, which is annoying because it means that there's no benefit for us at all, really. Not only are we not in the Champions League, we don't get an additional benefit of not playing games. But there we go. At least now we can just focus on the Premier League. It's a straight fight for the Premier League. Rafinha's torn his thigh muscle and will not be joining us for that fight for the Premier League. I shouldn't have played him. He wasn't fully match fit, was he? Shouldn't have played him. His bravery has declined considerably. 2 down there, not good. Not good. Should have bought another left back in January then, maybe, shouldn't we? Well, it's gonna be a chance for Mick Hogan to sort of step up a little bit. He's so good and he's so integral, and I shouldn't have played him. I mean, obviously I played him because we needed to win the game, but that's annoying. It's very annoying. He's got 3 injuries in a row. I mean, literally, he's played, he's got injured, he's played, and then he's got injured, and now he's played and he's got injured again. So that's my fault, really, but yeah, not great. Oh, well, I mean, that might be the last time we see Rafinha in a Liverpool shirt in this series, if we do leave at the end of the season, which is still a big if, because it depends on us winning the Premier League, which is nowhere near guaranteed, of course, but he's a player I would like to bring with me if we can maybe sort out his injury issues. Anyway, that's disappointing, but there we go. And that's not going to help the coefficient at all either, because obviously City are out, United were already out, now Spurs out on us, so there's no English teams in the competition going into the quarterfinals, which is not ideal. Obviously we're still getting some points because we won it last year, but yeah, not great, because as we get further in, and as we saw in Germany when we were at Monchengladbach, the coefficients will mean that leagues lose places, and the Premier League may well lose a place if that becomes a trend. Obviously we did win it last year, so it's not drastically a big issue, but it's not ideal. And of course, wins for both City against Arsenal and Spurs against Wolves. 2 games that would have been nice if they dropped points in, even though they were at home. Maybe that's a good omen for us, I don't know. But they cut the gap a little bit. But if we can beat United, we'll restore it back to what it was. So we need to bounce back after that disappointing result against Real Madrid. No Rafinha, of course, so Jamal Lewis will come in for him. Frankie de Jong is suspended as well, but Bentancur is a more than capable substitute for that one. So there we go. They're the only 2 changes to the boys who sort of didn't really perform as well as they could have done in the game against Madrid. Let's go out there, Man United, one of our other close rivals. Let's get the job done. Not a great season from United, but they've got some good players, and they've got the 2 highest rated players in the division. Thiago Dantas, who is a real player, who I have never heard of, but he is starting life at Benfica. Has had a very, very, very good season since joining them for £50 million. And Ansu Fati, who obviously I definitely have heard of, also having a very good season. So it's interesting why they're sort of down in 5th at the moment, not having the greatest time of things. But yeah, certainly some threats here could be difficult for us. Of course, we will still be top, whatever happens, but I would rather be top with a 6-point buffer than a 3-point buffer. Chance for us first of all, and we have scored. It was a bit of a mess, but they all count as long as they're not offside. A corner came in from Mohamed Salah, of course it did, and then Foucher with the initial header. It came down to Paqueta, who had 2 goes at it, and then it was a slid in from Vujovic. Not the prettiest we've scored all season. That's the only other highlight of the game so far is, well, this one. Paqueta cuts it out, but only as far as Dotti to Engene, and then Adam Grayson working it relatively well. They're probably going to equalise here just before half time, which would be less than ideal. Ishikawa finds Ansu Fati, and that was pretty easy. That looked like very poor goalkeeping from Alisson, actually. It wasn't the particularly strong shot, and well, too high. Jamal Lewis, once again, with some terrible defending, sliding the ball straight to them, and then Alisson really should be saving that. Apparently it was an excellent sliding challenge from Lewis. It wasn't, was it? Because he gave the ball to Ishikawa. It wasn't excellent at all. It was unnecessary. Ansu Fati He's onside apparently, and well, disappointing. Disappointing. Yeah, not great from anyone involved there. Paqueta, though, driving forward, still going, and as ever from a highlight like that, does not score. I mean, the draw's not the end of the world, given some of the fixtures we've got left. It's not the end of the world, but still not ideal. Need to see a bit more, really. Some changes needing to be made. I think Sinchek's going to come on. He's got a 10 rating in training this week, so that would be good if he can carry that on in the match. Are we seeing something? Are we building something? Vujovic on the right hand side, the goal scorer for us, out to Salvador. Bentancur looking for Mohamed Salah. Sinchek's in there, and well, there you go. Definitely his most important goal in a Liverpool shirt so far. Only his 8th of the season. Nicholson's obviously been the preferred choice, even though we've got a 3rd place Ballon d'Or striker on the bench, but that was crucial. He does love being offside, does Marco, but not on that occasion. Vital goal, 2-1. Sinchek with a deep free kick as well. Virgil van Dijk is there and he scores, and it's 3-1, and that should hopefully be the points in the bag. He can take a set piece too, can Marco, all the way from deep. Van Dijk steals in. Of course, he's retiring at the end of the season. We need to give him the Premier League title as a parting gift. And that is that. Fantastic stuff against a close rival. Liverpool 3, Manchester United 1. And well, that feels like another step towards the Premier League title that Liverpool have waited for so long. Because of course, they have not won the Premier League at any point in this save. We are in season 9 of the save. They have still not won the Premier League despite the excellent squad they start with. Is it finally going to be this year? We're 6 points clear again, and that is obviously very good with 8 matches left and with no distractions, with the Champions League now gone, the FA Cup gone as well. It is a straight fight. 8 games left to get this done. That's obviously going to influence when we come back, as will the results from other teams, City and Spurs in particular. We will be back at some point before the end of the season. Obviously, Wolves and West Ham will logically be the final episode if it comes down to that. I'm hopeful we can get the job done a little bit sooner. I mean, fingers crossed. Maybe. I mean, we've got these 6 games here, so potentially it could be done then. I imagine we'll probably drop some points at some point or something. That's likely. So it could well go down to the final 2 games anyway. I don't know. If it's looking like it might be done, then we will come back a little bit sooner, sometime around here, the sort of Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Newcastle type thing. It would be nice if the Everton game is a little bit later, because wouldn't it be nice to win the league at Goodison Park? It's not mathematically possible this year, unfortunately. Maybe we can win the league at Molineux and get some revenge against Wolves for last season, but we will see. As said, if it's looking like we might do it, then we'll be back in April. If it's looking like we might not do it because we've choked completely, we'll be back a little bit later. We'll see. But yeah, unlike what happened when we got promoted out of League Two with Cambridge United, I will make sure I'm keeping track of the numbers, and we're actually going to record the whole game if we're going to do it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed our win over Manchester United and our incompetence in the Cups this year, which makes a change from last year. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Hopefully it's good, and if it's not good, at least it'll be funny. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.